Alright, boys and girls, welcome to my horror reviews, year 3. 3 years of horror reviews. That is getting ridiculous, but it's awesome. So, this will be, of course, from the now in August through October, through Halloween, basically. So, yes, I got a lot of movies to get into, but first we're going to kick it off with the very first horror recommendation I ever got, that I did live on a Q&A. That's what I will review this movie, and I'm about to. It is 1408, based off the 1999 short story by one Stephen King, one of my favorite authors, next to Edgar Allan Poe. But yes, Stephen King's the shit. So anyways, this movie was released in 2007, roughly 2 years prior to the short story's 10th anniversary, which is ironic. And stars John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. And in this movie, John Cusack plays an author who specializes in paranormal stuff once the paranormal stuff has set in. So now he has his eyes set on this particular hotel room, 1408, which, of course, Samuel L. Jackson is basically the principal owner of the hotel, tells him, do not go in 1408. Weird shit has happened in 1408. About 56 people have died in 1408. But to John Cusack's dismay, even after bribes, ends up going into 1408. And guess what? Weird shit starts to happen. And man, this movie is straight up fucking crazy shit, man. I really enjoyed 1408. Holy shit, was this a surprise. I thought this movie would have been fucking boring as shit, because I have heard nobody talk about it, but there's still a couple of my subscribers saying this is an underrated movie and such like that. This is such a good underrated movie. I shall agree. This is like another underrated horror movie that everybody deserves to fucking check out. And if they haven't already owned it, they should own it. Because prior to this review, I don't own 1408 yet. Oh, but I will. And I might own it before this review is even released. So, right now, it is July 25th as of this recording. So, yeah, I don't own 1408 yet. I watched it online. But, man, I was actually surprised at how good this movie is. And John Cusack fucking brought it, man. I ain't seen him with this much emotion, I think, since Identity. Which is, ironically enough, another horror thriller type film he was in. Until this day, that ending is still the most confusing as shit. But yeah. So, yes, this movie does not hold back on anything. For a PG-13 rated horror film, you would think it would have been R-rated, but it's not, surprisingly. And this movie fucks you in the mind so fucking crazy. Man, the amount of shit that went on in like the first 20 minutes is crazy, because it was like relentless. It just kept bringing it and bringing it and bringing it, and you're like, holy shit. Okay, there comes a scene where he has to fucking walk out onto a fucking ledge to get to the next room. When that doesn't work out, he comes back, and the moment he steps towards that window, something happens. Whoo! It almost made my ass cheeks pucker. Like, fuck. Oh my god, this movie's fucking awesome. Not only that, but out of nowhere, the most out of nowhere cameo in this movie is Tony Shalhoub. What the fuck are you doing in here? Comes from out of fucking nowhere, for Christ's sakes. But it's good to see him again. I haven't seen him since the Men in Black movies, because I never watched Monk. So, the last time I ever actually seen him was Men in Black 2. So, yeah. Yeah. And the chick from In Plain Sight, which is that TV show that was on USA, plays John Cusack's wife in this movie. And in this movie, you actually get to find out a little bit more about Cusack's character. A lot of shit he went through in his life that's fucked up. There's like this room knows him. It's like it's reliving all of his history. And we get to see it through the room's eyes, basically. Because the room itself is the fucking character and the star of this whole fucking movie. To tell you the truth. And John Cusack is like the supporting character coming along for the fucking ride. And boy, is this a hell of a fucking ride, man. This movie's a trip. absolute trip. I could not believe all the shit that went down in this movie, man. I'm not going to say a lot about it because I don't want to spoil nothing for people who have not seen it yet. Which, if you haven't, I don't know where the fuck you've been. We're 2 years shy of this movie. We're 2 years shy of this movie turning 10. 2 years shy of the book turning 10. Now I'm 2 years shy of reviewing this movie that's about to be 10 years old. Holy crap! What timing those are. Wow. But I have to thank you guys for another recommendation because I actually enjoyed 1408. It's surprisingly another one of my favorite horror thrillers, or thriller, or supernatural thriller. I don't know what the fuck to call this movie because it's like a mixed bag of everything. You know, it's kind of like watching Shutter Island, especially in one scene. It's kind of reminiscent of Shutter Island because he's holding this person and then it turns to ash later. It was almost something like that. I'm like, wow. Matter of fact, didn't Shutter Island come out a few years after this? What? I think it did. I think it was 2009. If that's true, give me a fact checker on that. I gotta pull a John Campion on that one. Give me a fact checker, somebody. Was that 2 years after this movie coming out? Or the year after this movie? Because that was too ironic. But it was kind of cool. So, yeah. All in all, 1408 really does this job well. The horror is real in this movie. It's not no cheap Paranormal Activity bullshit. Because it doesn't really trick you like those movies try to do. It's not boring. It jumps right into it. And that's what I appreciate about my horror movies. Get straight to the point. Get us out of there. Give us some good acting from both people. Even Samuel L. Jackson, who I thought was going to fucking cuss his way to John Cusack, saying, "Look, motherfucker, don't go into this goddamn room, motherfucker, okay? Say 1408 one more goddamn time." I'm sorry, I had to Pulp Fiction that ass because, yeah. I know Samuel L. Jackson wanted to go, "Motherfucker, I said don't go in that fucking room, okay?" But it's PG-13, so if they did have an unrated cut, I hear it was the director's cut, maybe he was able to let loose a little bit, but then they edited it down. Maybe that's the case, I hope so, because I kind of want to see a Samuel L. Jackson tirade. "Look, John Cusack, do not go in that motherfucking room, okay? You're about to get motherfucking fucked up. Okay?" But anyways, guys, I will give 1408 a B+. This is a surprising ass little movie here. Let me know what you guys think about 1408 down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Stay tuned because we're just getting this motherfucker started. Year 3 of horror reviews has started. It's gonna be a blast. Enjoy the reviews. I hope any one of your favorite movies have made the list this year, because we are completely booked now, so I can't take any more horror recommendations for this year. So if you do give me some, I'll have to save them for next year. So yes, I will see you then.